Welcome you all. Today we are attacking the leaks on all fronts with brute force. Haha!
Okay, that's a severe disappointment. The needle gun is a fine tool, but the compressor is clearly too weak. Despite the fact that I have a decent 2.5 horsepower compressor with a 230 liter per minute airflow rate and a 50 liter drum, but after 30 seconds I feel like I'm just tickling the rust. As you can hear, the compressor strikes at the slightest use. That's a bummer. A bigger compressor is a huge investment and I'm not ready for that. I will have to turn my attention to something else.
In order to find the deepest point in the bilge at the aft of the boat, I need to remove the freshwater tank, but that's easier said than done. And it seems to be fixed at the very end. So I'll have to remove the flooring in order to open up whatever's underneath there.
And it was at that time that he realized his mistake. The water bag is in a completely sealed steel casing and cannot be accessed from above. There's only one solution, and that is to send the smallest one of our family into it. She doesn't know it yet, so the surprise will come when she sees disappearing. Yes, get ready, my princess. As long as the weather doesn't allow me to work outside, I will continue inside. As you know, I see this as a circular renovation, and I'm trying to remove all valuable wood as precisely as possible and labeling all the pieces for later reconstruction. And after this coffee break, I can finally show you the secret passage I discovered in episode 2. Many of you are boat owners yourself, and so it's of no surprise to you that this hatch gives way to the stern. The pointy stern has a manhole, and below that we find the steering unit. And although visually it suggests the opposite, the rudder and steering unit is tremendously smooth. I can turn the rudder with 2 fingers if I wanted to. Opposite the steering unit, we can see the general fuses for shore power and a total of 3 pipe exits, of which I have no idea what they're there for. In the master cabin, 3 tubes insulated with a possible asbestos containing material, and I thank Daniel from Flying Coney for the tip on approaching this with the utmost care. But why are they there? They run from the engine room to the stern. And before I hear you say, engine exhaust, there are 3 tubes and I only have 2 engines, and no true holes in the hull nor in the deck. Further on this topic, I also found this in the stern. Anyone has an idea what it belongs to? Could it be a siphon to steer if you lose hydraulics? Let me know in the comments if you have any idea. Meanwhile, up at the bow, I couldn't retain my dad, and he gave the bow a light sanding. The teak bow is constructed differently from the rest of the deck, and since it's just the seal of the anchor locker, I hope to restore it as is. But it's a mental boost to see how beautiful the deck could become.
I'm gonna see if we can bring back some life in these old batteries here. Just gonna hook up a charger. See what happens. Is that good or bad?
More friends visiting, this time with beers, and with this renewed courage I grasped the deck at the stern. I took the liberty to start without you, but the principle is the same as for the top deck. A few screws hold the plywood in place, which in turn holds the teak. And some spots need more attention than others. The raised edge at the manhole is beyond repair. It has to be replaced. The hatch, on the other hand, seems totally salvageable. A good sandblasting and a lick of paint will make it as good as new. I'm the lucky father to a son who knows his way around technical drawing software. And he quickly could make up a virtual new one. I can now order this from our local steel shop